some housekeeping here. Unfortunately, Sly decided to leave the game. He didn't really feel like he fit in anymore, and just wanted to part ways before any feelings got hurt or anything like that. So we have grabbed Christopher, aka Elric, who rolled up an Elven Ranger to play with us. He's a Patreon of mine, and he watches my channel and Midge's channel, I believe. He's going to game with us, and normally Snow would be here, but he is ill, so we are down a Snow. But we're gonna roll with the four of us and continue on.
So, question: who gets Sly's gold? Because he was carrying both chests from the dungeon.
No, we'd already divvied that up, though.
Oh, right, yeah, and I wasn't a part of it.
You did divvy that up, and you will find out what's going to happen to his character whenever it happens.
I can't carry anymore anyway. I had to dump out a bag of copper.
Bob's like right on the verge of like walking on his hands and knees.
Apparently, I'm encumbered.
But
the shield.
Would anybody like to say anything before we start? Anybody got anything they need to?
Only that over the night that our characters took it was the daytime. We went to sleep.
Yeah,
for the
because
day,
you guys got into the town in the morning and grabbed rooms and took a long rest. Would have put you into early afternoon.
Okay, so over the rest, I sat down my character sat down and started to feel like that his experience of life isn't what he wanted it to be, and therefore has chosen to take the College of Valor as his thing. He's now striving to tell great stories of great people and all the heroes, because heroes have always fascinated him, and now he thinks it's his chance to not only document the heroism of others, but to become a hero himself.
But also as a way to get to your dad, who didn't want you doing this.
Yeah. Who wanted me to be a merchant.
The shield that you've been carrying around after you've done some contemplating over the night, the next time you go to pick it up, it feels lighter to you.
Oh.
Before when you asked about the weight, you were told it weighs about 10 to 15 pounds. Now you think it only weighs about 6.
That's just half the weight, and I'm still encumbered because
because you're weakling.
No, that's because some of the stuff in my inventory is actually on the horse. Like some.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Huge. I was telling Chris before that, like, when we go dungeon delving, just keep in mind that all of that stuff on the horse is not going to be with you.
Yeah. Oh, it's money that's normally.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
It's like it's the
300. We got the 2 horses. So, everybody, we are. Let me cue up our music here. Town. There we go. So you guys are in the name of the inn slash tavern was the Blind Hunter. You all purchased rooms. The purchase of the rooms came with a meal. So when you go down, you can collect your meal. But it is early afternoon. The tavern is relatively busy. There's 10, 12 people mewing about. There's the same bartender that you saw earlier in the morning down there. Portly man, balding, nervously shuffling about. What are you guys up to?
Breakfast, whatever it is that they serve here.
Well, the meal they provided you with was a kind of a thin broth with not lacking with lacking in flavor, with a large bone in it.
We got gruel and we got a side of gruel.
Cider gruel.
You were given kind of you were not given a high quality meal with the purchase of your room. It was hot and it was filling, but you don't feel it was very nutritious.
We got hot gruel.
Helm sustains me.
Well, at this point, I'm going to come in and buy a drink. Strongest drink.
So. Elric, the Elven Ranger, he opens the door to the tavern. The music kind of drops down for just a second as people's heads kind of whip around. They look for a little bit too long for it to be comfortable, and then they go back to what they were doing. And he saunters over to the bartender, orders his drink. The bartender brings it to him, slower than he brought Bob his bowl of bone broth.
That's because I'm a humming, and I'm not unusual.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of look up as I'm walking down the stairs from the room, and I look up and I say, I sort of mumble to myself, "Oh, someone with pointier ears than me," and just I continue to the bar and ask for this gruel pot.
Is it going to be Artlock treating him even worse than other people?
You sit down next to the other elf, the only one you've seen in a long time. You sit down next to him, and you're. And Pock, that's the name of the bartender. He puts down his bowl in front of you, kind of roughly, kind of sloshes some of it down onto the bar as he does it.
I need to close Steam. Okay, I'm gonna look at it, somewhat dissatisfied, but continue to eat it anyway. This is really right on cue because I'm about to receive some food.
Hi, Mrs. Midge.
Mrs. Midge. We prefer,
she waved.
we prefer the term Midge Mum.
Midge Mum? Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it, Midge Mum.
Giant play. What did you get?
Leftover roast from Christmas dinner.
Nice.
Standard English cooking.
Only if it's covered in gravy.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, excellent.
And it's also overcooked.
Right, so...
ever so slightly.
So we got Artlox and Elric. I love that. I love the two of those names together. Artlox and Elric are at the bar. Bob, I don't remember where you were sitting, but you're eating your.
Nondescript
You're at a table. Coswin, what are you doing?
What would
you had your own room upstairs, I believe.
Oh yeah, because I dibsed the room. I guess I'll come down. I mean, it's been a full 8 hours rest, and this is the first time I've been in a bed for 12 years. So
Jesus Christ.
So I'm probably done with that at this point. I guess I'll go. Coswin goes downstairs and seeing the other people that he came in on with. So he came with
town.
It's early. Came with into town.
Kavara in.
Yeah. I decide not to stay with them and go to the bar, and I think I'll order whatever their largest alcoholic beverage is.
Oh God,
okay,
so alcoholic wizard.
So Pock puts down a. He puts down a tankard of like warm brown mead down in front of you.
Okay, how much is that? How much is that gonna be?
That's gonna be, let's say, 20 silver.
20 silver. What's the medium drink then?
10.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. All right, so you have your beverage. You're all kind of separated out, and the last one to enter the tavern from upstairs is Kavara. Kavara walks down, sits down next to Bob, and informs him that Snow is suffering from a resurgence of the rot.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
So this hulking, 300-pound dragon comes just thumping down the stairs. It's very disruptive to the people. I mean, Kavara sticks out like a sore thumb in this place that is populated by nothing but humans, plus you guys. Everybody claps as the music ends. So Kavara informs you that that Snow is not fit for travel.
All right then. So he'll have to stay.
Okay, so you guys are all enjoying your afternoon. No one's bothering you. You finish your meal, Klaus, when you finish your drink, and you hear some feet coming up to the door to the tavern. The door opens up, and there stands a lean man. He's tall, he's lean. He's got a traveler's cloak with the hood down, just caked in dust and mud. He's wearing leather armor, but there's segmented plates across the chest, cut out around the joints so that he has full mobility, and it protects him, but it doesn't affect his ability to move around as he might like. He marches straight up to the bar. He waves over the barkeeper, Pock, you know his name is at this point, and they lean in. They have a couple terse words, and Pock just waves him aside. The stranger marches up to the tavern door, opens up his traveler's pouch, unravels a scroll, and starts nailing it into the inside of the door. And that is the poster you guys all have in your handouts. Which is this, people.
Let's get Bob to read it out, because he can, apparently.
He's first in High Gothic.
So anybody who would be reading this would have to approach it. Go up to the door and read it. A couple people already have. A couple people went up to it, read it, and just went about their business.
Well, I suppose wanting to know more about where he is, Tybern will go read the thing.
All right, so Tybern,
mostly being the only guy who can read it.
Yes, Tybern gets up. It's in common. It is in it's in script, which is not anything anybody in this area is probably used to seeing too much. But it is handwritten in script, nailed to
it's
the
not a very
inside of the
effective
tavern
wanted
door.
poster if no one can read it.
Touche.
All right. Wanted information relating to the desecration of the tomb of Appius Major. Due to the severity of the crime, the reward is doubled to 500 gold pieces per person found accountable. Suspects are armed and dangerous. See your local reeve. I think this is Horatia Creighton.
Yes,
Baron of
Horatio
Ostia.
Creighton, Baron of Ostia. It is signed. The
Tybern notes that
the
a couple words are misspelled.
yes, the scribe
Gets out
clearly
of his
wasn't.
red quill and marks on it.
You're not allowed to use red anymore. It has to be green.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Are you serious? Is that like a safe space thing?
Is that offensive
This
to
is a
special
thing
snowflakes?
this is a thing in England. Teachers aren't allowed to mark with red pen anymore because it's seen as too negative.
That's fucking stupid.
That is really dumb.
Fuck off. Just no.
God damn it. God damn it.
It should be
Okay,
negative. You
anyway.
did it wrong. See me after class.
Anyway, so the messenger, sat down next to Elric on the other side of Artlox, and Pock puts down a plate in front of him, and you don't see the exchange of any currency, but it is a plate. It's got a large, chunk of black bread on it, and some sort of loaf. It looks like meat. You don't know what it is, and some assorted greenery on the side. The messenger demolishes it as if he hasn't seen food in quite a long time. He eats his way through it, and you overhear bits of conversation between the messenger and Pock. And Pock says to him, "Are you heading back to Ostia?" And the messenger says, "No, I have to continue on south to Smuggler's Run. I have more posters to disseminate." And with that, he eats the last bit of his meal, and he exits the tavern. In the meantime, you've noticed that the conversation's quieted down a little bit. You guys are starting to attract attention, mostly because it's mostly because of the
almost 7
very
foot
large dragon that came downstairs. Spoke very loudly in a Scottish accent about a sick man, and then departed back up the stairs.
Well, hey, at least we finally figured out what accent.
Well, that was the last. That was the last one that was used. So that's what we're going with. That's what we're going with. So there is there is a man who's paying particularly close attention to you guys as a group. You're not together as a group, but everybody saw you come in together.
They call him
and they know
Strider.
you're together. Yeah, they call him Strider. He's
He's
sitting in the
smoking
corner.
an unusually long pipe.
He's sitting in the corner, at a table with another group of people. They're playing some sort of dice game, and he seems to be not very happy. He's got, let's see, I got some notes here. He's got clean dark hair, pulled back, and a ponytail behind him. He's wearing fine leather armor, and he seems to be losing. But it might be because he's not paying attention to the game anymore. And you see him get up and exit the tavern.
Sounds like a not me problem.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over to Tybin and ask him about what the poster said, because I'm too lazy to go read it myself. Expedition. Yeah, okay. And with
Exposition done.
Looks like
With
they're
that, I'm
talking
gonna-
about some sort of who's downstairs. Who actually is all actually here?
You four are downstairs. The two elves are sitting at the bar. You have a table to yourself, and I don't remember where Coswin sat down. I think it was at a separate
I'm
table.
standing at the bar. You know.
Oh, he's
All
at
right.
the
Well,
bar.
I'm going to inform Artlock. So what's going on with the poster? That there's some sort of tomb that's been desecrated. Tyburn's going to try to put two and two together and go over to Coswin and be like, "Hey, was this us?"
yeah. And with that, I'm also gonna go back upstairs and sort of get my things ready to go.
All right, so Artlox departs, goes back up the stairs, and starts putting together his pack.
Would I know if this was?
You
He's-
would most certainly know.
Is it?
Is this in reference to us?
Would seem so. God, no. What was
Okay, now
that?
we're Scottish.
You're sort of
Now
That's not the one you
You
used
said it,
before.
you
God
said
damn
it,
it.
and now I'm
slightly Irish. You've gone slightly Irish.
It would. God, now I need to now I need to ground myself. It would seem so.
So how tenacious are the authorities around here then to and the people to collect on this?
It varies, but it's the people you gotta look out for. That's a lot of it's a lot of coin.
So
Really?
how
listen to myself
illiterate
again.
is this population exactly in comparison to where we were?
How dumb is everyone?
In the area you are in, I would say probably less than half of the town would be literate.
So how is that compared to where we were before with Roach's campaign?
Probably similar.
It was a much more settled area, so it'd be like 75%ish. Think like northern. Think like
significantly-
northern-ish France. Like,
So I think one of the discerning things that we can have for Tiber, because obviously he's human, so he blends in that regard, and he has his vestments and such, which no one recognizes. But perhaps he speaks with a little more of an educated tone than everyone else.
Well,
to make him stand out a little more.
being from like the elven merchant era, even further in the south than where we were, I think that's like a pretty 90% literate area. So I think we're all from an area that is possibly a little more educated than anyone here. If that makes sense.
Yes, I would say that is true.
All right, well, I think we need to get out of here and go elsewhere. Now, I heard somebody mention something about a smuggler's den, which might be a good place to start for us to getting back home.
I return downstairs. I go back to where I was sitting on the bar with my pack. And I'm actually going to open a line of inquiry with the elven gentleman if he's still sat there.
Yes, I am. Yes, he.
Is. So the ears gave it away, but I guess you're not from around here as well.
No, I'm not. I'm actually from Falmorrow originally.
Okay.
Falmorrow. From
What direction is that?
that would originally been from Roach's.
Oh,
Map.
okay. Oh, hang on.
Fall Meadow? I think it's
Falmeadow,
Meadow.
yes. I'm sorry.
Fall Meadow?
It was hard to trying to find it.
Yeah. Now I gotta find my action. Now I gotta find my old.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. I'm trying to, in relation to where that was.
And I'm the one who made it.
Surely we can just open up the other roll
Well,
20 game.
we would know where it is, right? He says he says
I've
the
got-
place. We know where it is.
I just
Fall
want to
Meadow is the major city on the southern continent where the elves primarily live.
Okay, and I'm
That
from
got
the
broke.
town, so I know where that is.
You're from
Oh,
Fair Crest, which is the smaller one right above it.
Yeah, it's like the port of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, I therefore continue. I was like, oh, I have cousins there. How did you end up here?
I was originally a mercenary. I fought the Second Empire about 60 years ago when I was a younger man.
So, actually, therefore, can you describe your character a bit so I can know what I'm looking at a little bit? Let's give us a little
Yes. I'm a 5'6".
smaller. Your Ben's height.
Copperish toned with a slightly green, brown hair, hazel-eyed. What elf?
Greek god.
I'm not very toned, or I'm not very bulky, but my arms are obviously toned.
Okay.
See that I'm carrying a longbow across my back and 2 swords on my hip.
So, like, as I'd expect from an archer.
Quick draw holsters.
As you'd expect from an archer, quite muscular in the arm region, like.
Arm and back, yes.
Okay. And so you're and sorry, did you give an age for the character?
I'm 200 years old.
Wow, you're much older than I am then, because I'm a very young.
He's legit elf.
Yeah, that's true. I'm half high elf, and half human. So I was like, oh.
Yeah. I don't remember. Fifth edition half elves have pretty similar. I think they're just human ages, aren't they?
A little bit
for
older
their-
than human. They can go to a little bit older. I think like the max age is like 120 compared to
Just
the.
for reference, an elf would get it dulled around 100, and live to about 750.
Yeah.
Edition.
Whereas I become an adult at the same ages as humans do. Actually, I think it's more like 20 for me.
Mm.
So he's a fair. He's seen much more than you have in life. He's a fair deal older than you.
So okay, So what brings you to this place?
My wife was killed here by the Second Empire 7 years ago. Today.
I'm sorry to hear that.
A foot into mouth.
Just. Ooh. My condolences. We, as my friends and I that I'm here with, we ended up here by mistake, and no one seems to know where we're from. Like beforehand, they don't. So, do you know any way of getting back at all? Because we never meant to be here. We're missing one of our friends, and we're looking for him. But we do need to know if you know a way back to Moravia.
I can interject there. His character would know that there are several ways to get back. The one that used to be used is now called the Sundered Gap, but a very long time ago there was a cataclysmic explosion in this area, and the Sundered Gap was guarded on either side by fortresses, and during that event the entire area was destroyed and it's no longer passable. There is a path on the opposite side of the continent, but it is completely and 100% controlled by the Black Hand tribe. It is an orc tribe, so you would have to get past them, and then it is quite a distance through wasteland to get anywhere else. And the only other way would be via sea, but because of your northernly latitude, it is a tumultuous journey.
Okay. Well, I call over. Is Tyburn still in the bar area?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I call over to Tyburn and introduce him to Elric over here, saying how he's someone else from he lives with near my cousins, and do the kind of whole he's from where we're from, and he actually knows the area quite well, relatively, like more so than any of us in terms of referencing this northern kingdom and our southern homeland.
So by sea, it's a difficult journey because it's like wintertime right now. It's iced up, or
because of the northerly climate, it is covered in sea ice for large periods of time. There's also raging storms, and there is even rumors to be a sea monster. But nobody who has ever seen it has lived to tell the tale. So it's all just rumor and speculation.
good. I knew a guy who talked about killing a god once in the north.
While you guys are talking, the gentleman with the long dark hair that you saw before pulled back in the ponytail, he re-enters the bar, and he sits down alone at a table.
Okay. I asked Tyburn, if we're getting out of here, what should we do about snow?
Helm protects those that help themselves.
He's a disciple of hell?
Leave a note.
Leave a note.
Well,
I suppose we could hang until he gets better, or she gets better. Is what we can do. So, but we should do is I heard the guy came in that pounded the note up on the in here. He's talking about going to a smuggler's base of some kind. So, if there's any way to get home, it might be them to go talk to about getting back home, because smugglers are good at smuggling things when we need to be smuggled back home.
Oh, by the way, just for reference, there's a shield on my back, but I've covered it with my fur pelt that I got from ages ago, just so you can't see what's on the shield, just in case anyone recognized it because of the wanted post.
That's a good idea.
All right, so
it is a good idea.
So you have covered. So you're wearing it on your back.
I'm wearing it across my back with the strap, but I've just like sort of.
Okay.
So
you throw your pelt
I've kind of weaved it in with the strap, so it sort of held
over it. Two more men enter the bar, and they sit
it.
down with the first man at the table that he's at.
Are they eyeing us?
And what are they doing? Are they eyeing just them, or are they eyeing me as well?
They are eye-fucking Artlocks.
Eye-fucking him? That's a different context entirely.
They're whispering to each other.
Well, I've heard stories about elves, so I'm not surprised. So.
half elf.
Making the 12.
Or well,
plus deities.
Let's see if I can wave Coswood over and be like, hey, come over here.
We're now
leave the bar.
Maybe we should go up to one of the rooms and discuss away from prying eyes.
Have an elf orgy, apparently.
I'm actually going to take this chance and tell Artlocks that needs any more information. I will meet him at the southern entrance to the city in 3 hours. I'm going to go visit the grave of my wife.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm going to leave.
Thank you for your help. Okay.
So you guys exposition dump each other, shake hands, and he leaves the bar. The other the three men at the table, they don't pay much heed to him leaving.
What a lovely gentleman.
Okay. So what do you guys do?
What was the name of that smuggler place?
Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run. Now ask Cosmo if he knows where that is.
Do I know where that is?
You do. It is directly south, about a day's journey.
Can you help us get there?
Could. But why should I?
Means we get out the city.
Yeah, means we get out of the city. I give you some gold pieces for your trouble.
Well, Bob, your character would remember that the insight check he had on him from the last game when he was talking about authorities.